And we are live. So hi everyone. Problem number 16. Hello sir. Hello. Hi. So just give me a confirmation if my voice is clearly audible as well as my screen and the video. I mean not the screen. Yes. Hi Sasi. Hi. Hello Nilam. Okay, so welcome to this session in which we are going to see how we can ace data structures algorithms and competitive programming. Okay, thank you for confirming everyone. ठीक है तो आज का सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टेल मी गाइस आर यू गाइस कंफर्टेबल इन हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश बोथ okay so tell me about the okay so is everyone comfortable in Hindi and English, yes or no guys? okay so आज का सेशन ना बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है. हम आज बात करने वाले हैं डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स एंड एल्गोरिथम्स दैट इज कंसीडर्ड एज वन ऑफ द क्रूशियल इन योर इंटरव्यूज. जो भी आपके टेक इंटरव्यूज होते हैं उसमें हमेशा हम बात करते हैं डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एल्गोरिथम्स. डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एल्गोरिथम ऐसे करेंगे बट हम एक्चुअली में जानते नहीं है कि व्हाट इज द करेक्ट पाथ, कि उस पाथ को हम फॉलो करेंगे देन विल बी एबल टू फिगर आउट कि हमें इस टेक्नोलॉजी में या फिर इस सब्जेक्ट में क्या क्या टॉपिक्स पढ़ने चाहिए एंड हमारा गोल क्या होना चाहिए. तो उसके बारे में मैं सारा आइडिया दूंगा कि डीएसए आपको कहाँ से कहाँ तक पहुंचा सकता है एंड डीएसए करने के बाद आप क्या क्या चीजें अचीव कर सकते हो. डीएसए इन पाइथन, कैन वी डू डीएसए विद पाइथन? यस एब्सोल्युटली. आप डीएसए कौन कौन सी लैंग्वेज से कर सकते हो? आप पाइथन, सी प्लस प्लस, जावा, सारी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस की मदद से आप डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स एंड एल्गोरिथम्स के प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व कर सकते हो. मैं कह रहा हूँ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस. कल को आके कोई बच्चा मुझे मैसेज करे सर HTML से करना चाहता हूँ, तो HTML इज नॉट अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. ये तो आप सभी को पता होगा, राइट? इज HTML अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज? देखते हैं कितनों को पता है. लेट्स ट्राई टू सी गाइस. बताइए कि HTML इज अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज और व्हाट? क्या लगता है आपको? HTML जो आप कोड करते हो, इज इट अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज? HTML is not a programming language, right? HTML एक मार्कअप लैंग्वेज है. इट इज नॉट अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. उसमें कोई लॉजिक कोड नहीं कर सकते हो. आप कोई टेक्स्ट को हाईलाइट कर सकते हो कि भाई इसको आप कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करना चाहते हो, वही आपको बता सकता है. ठीक है, HTML की हम बात नहीं कर रहे थे. हम बात कर रहे थे कि भाई डीएसए को कैसे पढ़ा जाता है. डीएसए में अगर हमें कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रोग्रामिंग करनी है, जो आजकल के आपके सीनियर्स या फिर आप जूनियर से बात करोगे, वो सब कह रहे हैं कि भाई कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रोग्रामिंग करने से मुझे अमेजोन में जॉब मिल सकती है, या फिर आप कहोगे गूगल में कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रोग्रामर्स को बहुत वैल्यू करा जाता है. तो उसका पाथ और रोड मैप क्या होगा? सो पहले इस सेशन को शुरू करने से पहले मुझे ये बताओ, आप लोग कौन से करंट ईयर के स्टूडेंट हो? कि आप सेकेंड ईयर में पढ़ रहे हो? सो अगर आप नॉन टेक से हो तो राइट डाउन. अगर आप नॉन टेक से हो तो अपनी स्ट्रीम को लिख देना, राइट डाउन. अगर फोर्थ ईयर में हो तो फोर्थ कंप्यूटर साइंस, फोर्थ IT, थर्ड IT. ठीक है. सो प्रॉब्लम 16 सेकेंड ईयर, सेकेंड ओके. आशुतोष पांडे सेकेंड. थर्ड ईयर CSE. ठीक है, सेकेंड अगेन आशुतोष, सेकेंड CSE IML. तो हमारे पास दो आशुतोष है यहाँ पे. अच्छा, दो आशुतोष नहीं थे. विच वन इज बेटर लैंग्वेज फॉर DSA? ठीक है, इंग्लिश only when we don't understand Hindi. We are Telugu people. Okay, no worries. I'll conduct this entire session in English as well. Okay, I'll not use Hindi. Can we do DSA for job ready in 3 months? ठीक है. So what I can observe here is I have a audience which is currently studying in second or third year, right? So let's try to see ki what should be your correct roadmap to, like, let's say mastering this data structure algorithms, and how can we get good at these things, right? So let me just share my screen. Just give me a minute guys. I'll share my screen. ठीक है, so okay, let's start. सर ऑल्सो पॉसिबल शेयर दी रिविजन टेक्निक्स. ठीक है, तो जो भी आपके डाउट्स है ना, वॉट एवर डाउट्स यू आर हैविंग रिलेटेड टू डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एल्गोरिथम्स, राइट डाउन इन द चैट बॉक्स. आई विल बी आंसरिंग ऑल योर डाउट्स and I'll be giving you a perfect roadmap which I have followed and which my students are following these days, and they have cracked good MNCs, they have cracked good opportunities in good product based companies. So before starting this session, let me introduce myself. My name is Jadal Sania and I am a mentor at Geeks for Geeks. So I've been into training and teaching students in this field of computer science from past 3.5 years. Okay, so that was a short idea about myself, and my expertise are in data structures and algorithms, and I'm also involved into giving trainings on Java backend development. Okay, so that was a short idea about myself. So now let's start what should be the ideal roadmap, and then I'll be answering all your queries. Okay, so I'll be covering all type of students in this roadmap ki agar aap, if you are at level, let's say 50, or let's say at level number 70 in your data structure algorithms, then what should be the path and what should you be doing nowadays. So first, let's start. How can we start DSA? So before reading anything, before let's say reading a novel, before reading out any textbook, what do we have inside a textbook? The first page says index. By having a look at index, we can get an idea about what we are going to study in this entire textbook, right? So I have prepared an index for you guys, that what is an index for data structures and algorithms. So I would say that if there was a book on DSA, then that book should be divided into two parts, part A and part B. Now, why I have divided into part A and part B? It will all make sense when we list down all the topics that are considered as basic topics of data structure and algorithms. Let's talk about part 1, or let's say part A. So in part A we have arrays, we have analysis of algorithms. Then we'll be having, let's say, strings. Then we'll be having stacks, queues, linked list. Then we'll be having, so यहाँ पे we have written down all the data structures, arrays, strings, stacks, queues, linked list. Then we'll be having all the sorting algorithms. Then we'll be having binary search, linear search, that is under the umbrella of searching algorithms. And then we'll be having recursion and backtracking. But I will not list down this topic in our part A. So this many topics are the most important topics when we consider a part A of DSA. Now, after completing part A, generally we go to the next part, but I would say that there is something that connects part A and part B. That's a very important topic, and that topic is your recursion and backtracking. Okay, so why I'm saying that this is a connecting topic between part A and part B? Because all the topics, or let's say majorly all the topics that are included in part B, will be using recursion and backtracking in order to get you a solution. Now, what topics are there inside our part B? So inside part B, we have graphs, we have binary trees and binary search trees. Then we have heap data structure, a very important data structure in order to understand priority queue. Then we'll be having dynamic programming, right? And apart from that, we can consider some advanced data structures like tri data structures and so on. So all the advanced data structures and strategies are under the umbrella of part B. And there is one more, that is greedy algorithms. So now if you want to master the part B, all the topics of part B, there is a connectivity between them. And that topic is recursion and backtracking. So recursion and backtracking helps you to get mastery on part B. Okay, so I've given you so many information by far. Let's have a look at the audience. What do you guys say? Is it making sense? Yes or no, guys? Is this much making sense, that what is constituting our part 1 and what is constituting our part B? Yes, I'm telling the entire roadmap. I'm starting from scratch. I'm saying that, let's say you have zero knowledge of DSA, then what should be your ideal roadmap? So is this making sense, guys? I want to see energy in today's session. Okay, so I'll be keeping on asking you some questions, and I expect the same. I expect some responses from you guys in the chat box, right? So whatever I'm writing down on this board, if needed, you can take a screenshot for future references as well. Okay, Scarlet. So Scarlet, here the roadmap is from 0. Okay, so you can follow this roadmap. Okay, so now I can see energy in the chat box. Okay, fine. So this is part A and part B, nothing fancy, and this can be found everywhere on the internet, right? That what to study and how to study, but they don't teach you actually how to study. They can teach you that what you should be studying, right? So now let's see, I will teach you how to study as well. What to study is this much, this many topics are very important topics. Okay, so first of all, your goal should be mastering part A questions and mastering part A algorithms, so that you can use those algorithms, you can use those data structures in part B. And the star topic is recursion and backtracking. Okay, very important topic. Don't get tired of doing the dry run. Keep on messing around the recursive code to understand its depth. Okay, so this is what we should be studying in DSA, and I will be giving you how you should start this thing. Okay, so now this is what I have to study in data structures and algorithms. Now, how to study? So I'll be answering your two questions, that is what to study and how to study. So what are we supposed to study? This is what are we supposed to study in learning DSA. Now how to study. Okay, so this is my personal strategy which I have been using and which I used when I was in your, let's say when I was your age, or when I was in your in the same year of college. So at that time, some of my seniors and some of my known guided me that this is the right path to study any topic. And by far, I have seen so many experiences, and I have figured out a very easy and very effective way that anyone can follow, and they will be able to master DSA. Okay, so let's say how to study any topic. So I'll take an example of any topic. Let's say we have linked list. Okay, so bear with me, guys. Okay, so I'll be giving you all ideas. I'll be coming back to competitive programming as well, how to study and how to get good at CP as well. Okay, but the overall idea is that if you want to master competitive programming or anything, this is the same path everyone has to follow. Okay, even though you want to do competitive programming, this is the basic necessities of data structures and algorithms. Now, coming back to how to study. If you want to study any topic, let's say for example you want to study linked list, then what are the ways to study a topic? So there are three important points, and here is the second most important point which no one tells you, that this is what you should be doing, or this is what you are missing nowadays. Okay, so I'll tell you this DSA mantra. This step I generally address it with a name called as DSA mantra. Okay, I'll not reveal it now, but I'll reveal in few minutes. Let's say linked list. Then first thing that we should be studying is theory of linked list. So what constitutes a theory? It constitutes what is type of the data structure. It gives you an idea about the definition of the data structure. Then how do you construct that data structure? What are the operations on that data structure? What are the use cases of the data structure? Okay, and what are the advantages and disadvantages when compared with some other data structures and algorithms? So this constitutes your theory of any topic. Okay, what is backtracking? Okay, I'll give you an idea. Backtracking is considered like a sibling of recursion. How to get a good internship and what type of internship a CSE student can get to add a value in resume. Amulya is saying that how to get an internship. So internship, I would say that what companies expect from interns is they expect a good idea about the standard, or let's say the most important concepts of any tech. If you are applying for, let's say, intern for, let's say, front end developer, then they expect that you have the basic and all the standard idea about front end development, all the technologies that you are going to use. So you should be focusing on developing mastery on all the standard concepts of any tech in which you want to get an internship, and highlight those things in your resume. So this is the way you can get good internships. Okay, so now coming back to this DSA mantra. Okay, so I'll not explain DSA mantra now, but I'll move to this point number 3, which everyone is aware about. What is the point number 3, guys? you basically do practice the questions. So now guys, tell me, have you seen this point number 1 and point number 2? And are you aware about this point 1 and point 2, that we should be studying the theory and then we should be practicing the questions, right? This is very common. Yes or no in the chat box. This is very common, and you have been, like, let's say, fed up of hearing this thing. Keep on practicing, but you don't see any, let's say, level up in your DSA part. I want to see yes or no, guys. You might have heard so many times that learn theory, then you might have heard that learn, or let's say, practice questions. But by doing so, you might have observed I'm not able to scale up. I'm not able to get good at a particular topic. Okay, Scarlett. So for now, focus on this roadmap. This will be helpful for what you are expecting from me. Okay. Those of you are starting DSA, this is what you should be doing, and this is what you should be paying attention to. So coming back to this thing. Okay, so now here is my DSA mantra. So tell me, guys, are you excited for this DSA mantra? The point number 2, which is filling the gap. If you complete this point number 2, you will be able to ace data structure and algorithms race. Okay, so are you guys excited for this DSA mantra? Yes or no in the chat box, guys? Because now I'm going to give you an idea about what is this important thing that everyone does but never tells you. Even I have done those things. Even a good programmer or a good competitive programmer has done this thing. Are you guys excited for DSA mantra? Yes or no, guys? If I'll get enough amount of yes, then only I'll reveal this DSA mantra. I have seen only 3 responses, guys. Quickly, I can see there is an audience of 80. So I need responses. Yes or no in the chat box. DSA mantra in the chat box. Okay. So let's see what is this DSA mantra. DSA mantra is nothing but standard problems. Okay. So what did you guys think? Am I going to give you some mantra that you can chant and then get good at DSA? No, there is no shortcut of mastering DSA. The DSA mantra is get good at standard problems. Now you would be confused, like, what does it mean by standard problems? I have never heard about this term. So standard problems basically means that all the important techniques which constitutes some important algorithms of that topic. Let's say in a linked list, I will name down some algorithms that are very important and will be used to practice the questions. One is reverse the linked list. Second one is find the middle pointer. Okay, so I'm just naming down different questions. Find the mid of linked list. Cycle detection in a linked list. So there will be some standard problems. There will be a list of 5 to 10 standard problems in every topic. And first of all, after getting idea about theory, after constructing a data structure from scratch, after all those, point number 1, you should be focusing on solving this standard problems and make a note of all the standard problems in your handwritten notebook. And after completing all the standard problems, then and only then you should go on all the coding platforms like Geeks for Geeks and then practice over there. Don't directly jump to practicing the questions, okay? Because you don't know what are standard techniques that will be used in all those topics. So after you get an idea, then and only then you can practice these questions effectively. Does it make sense, guys? Is it making sense? I am saying that if you want to solve some questions of mathematics, that too of an 11th grade or 12th grade student, then you need to learn basic. What do you need to learn? You need to learn basic addition, multiplication, integration, differentiation. All those topics needs to be done, right? And although you already know, you need a good idea about all these topics. Then and only then you can solve some difficult level of mathematics, right? So DSA is like mathematics in a computer science student's life, or let's say in life of a software developer. DSA acts like mathematics. You might know that you might be using mathematics each and every day while shopping something, while doing any calculation, or while using your money, you might be using some mathematics, right? So that is what DSA plays role in life of a software developer. Okay, so let's see some questions in the chat box. So can we start DSA? Uh, so can we start directly with DSA without any idea of any programming language? Okay, so I would ask you the same question. Would you be able to add two numbers before learning about numbers, before knowing about decimal numbers? Will you be able to add two numbers? Yes or no? If I tell you that you don't know what numbers are, and I will tell you that multiply 23 into 53, will you be able to do these things? Obviously not, right? So what DSA does, DSA helps you to solve. DSA tells you that these are the topics, and these are some of the algorithms that you can do. Now, in order to implement those topics or algorithms, you need to learn some programming language. Now, let me make this very much simple for you. So let's say, when you are, like, let's say an infant, or let's say a very small child who doesn't even know how to speak. So what generally we know, that when we want to speak something, we first of all think about it, right? We think about what I'm going to say now, and then you basically convert that into words or a sentence, right? So that's what actually DSA means. You Programming language basically speaks what's in your mind. I took 3 challenges which helped me to practice 6 questions daily in order to maintain the consistency. Okay, that's really great. Okay, so the main key of mastering DSA is maintaining consistency. So this is the topic, or let's say this is how you are supposed to study any topic in DSA. So you would be saying that, sir, can we apply this same thing on recursion? Can we apply this same thing on dynamic programming? Yes, absolutely. Every topic can be studied in this manner, and it should be done in this manner only to get a good core idea about the topic. Okay, so now I'll teach you how you can study these things. Okay, so now let's say if you want to study linked list, then how will you be able to find out theory? Because you will say that, sir, if I go and search on internet, I'll get links of thousands of websites, and from those websites, how can I know which one is best one, or where should I get a good trustworthy content? So I would say that, let's say if you want to study anything and you want to do all the 3 steps properly, so I will say, just go to Google, linked list and GFG. Write down the topic name, let's say linked list, and write down GFG. So this guides you to a link that has got all these 3 steps, and all the articles have been attached over here. So what was the first step? So first step was to get the basics of a linked list. What is a linked list? How do you create a linked list? What is a doubly linked list? What are different types, disadvantages, advantages? Everything is given over here. You can read out some articles and make notes of it. Then I told you that in theory, we also do some operations: insert, print. Then we basically reverse, delete a node, delete at given position. So these are all the operations. And after that, coming back to this DSA mantra, standard problems. Now here you have a list of easy problems, medium problems, and hard problems. So does this mean that this many standard problems are there? I would say no. These are not all the list of standard problems. Only few of them are standard over here. So what you can do, if you don't want to, let's say, search, or let's say select problems effectively, you can just go to the first 5 to 6 problems on every topic, or let's on every list. In easy problems, try to do first 5 to 6 problems. In medium, try to do 6 to 7. I'm incrementing our count in when I'm saying medium problems. I'm saying 6 to 7. Okay, and you can skip the hard if you are focusing on doing this step number 2, and after that you can practice the questions. You can go to any platform and then keep on practicing. So this is the way in which you can get to all the topics and everything. So is it making sense, guys? Can I get a yes or no if this is making sense or not? Can I get a yes or no in the chat box, guys? Right? So this is how we can start DSA from scratch. So this was all for everyone who are starting from scratch, and this is the correct way to study any topic. It's not like you should directly jump to problem solving and you can do it. Okay, so now let's come back to this. Okay, that's really great. If Ashutosh knows everything, then that's really great. Ashutosh, you are on correct path and try to follow this for a long period of time. Let's say try to maintain this consistency until and unless you crack some good company, right? What do you do, Ashutosh, right now? Are you a student? I guess you are also a student, right? So keep on maintaining consistency. Okay, so now this is what we need for going into interview as well as mastering competitive programming. Okay, so first thing is get basics of DSA. Get basics of DSA. So after getting basics of DSA, there are two paths that you can follow. One is towards competitive programming CP, and one is towards cracking the placements. So now this is goal number one, and this is goal number two. So now, guys, tell me how many of you are selecting goal one and goal number two. Write down one or two in the chat box according to your goal. What are you aiming towards to? Are you aiming towards getting placement? For that, you want to study DSA, or do you want to do competitive programming? Okay, so I can see Neelam is saying goal number one, then one, Pragya both, Ashutosh. Ashutosh, I'm not asking second or first year. I'm asking which goal do you want to go into? Internship, placement, okay. Placement, problem, problem 16. Okay. So I can see some of you are saying goal number one, I want to just get placements or internships and I want to get into CP. Some of them are saying I want to do both. Okay, so there are two different paths that you should be following. Now, competitive programming is like a vast topic because it has got lots and lots of different concepts of mathematics involved into it, and it is a sport. Everyone knows it, competitive programming is a sport, and when sport is included, you basically compare two solutions or two candidates based upon different parameters. One is speed, one is the accuracy, right? So competitive programming is a sport in which speed will be one of the factor on which you will be judged, and on that basis you will be given some ratings on different CP platforms. Now, talking about placements, first of all, I'll cover the placements part and then I'll cover the competitive programming and what you should be doing in this part. Now, talking about the placements. So, in placements, you will be seeing thousands of questions on all the coding platforms. Now, how to know which questions are very important for us and how can we filter out all these questions? Because if let's say after 1 or 2 months you are going to get your placements, right? Or let's say a company is scheduled your interview, then in 1 to 2 months you cannot do thousands of problems, right? So what should be the ideal strategy? So first is a generalized strategy that you can follow. So general strategy says it targets all the important companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all the important companies. So you can solve any SD sheet. Okay, if you are looking towards a general strategy that you are not having any upcoming, let's say, interview scheduled and you are just focusing on whatever company is there, for now I want to do a general practice. So general strategy is solving any SD sheet. So there will be so many SD sheets available. Have you heard about this SD sheet, guys? Have you heard about SD sheets? How many of you have heard about what is SD sheet? Okay, so I can see Ashutosh, yes. Neelam also, yes. Uh, Vasanti, yes. Some of them are saying no. No worries if you have not heard about SD sheet, I'll give you an idea. So what does it mean by an SD sheet? So it is just a name given to some Google document or some sheet. Okay. So There are many SD sheets available in the market. So I would say go with any trustworthy creator or any trustworthy platform which you have trust upon. And all the different SD sheets will be having many similar questions. There will be a very less difference of some questions in different SD sheets. So here is the SD sheet provided by Geeks for Geeks, a complete guide for SD preparation. So you can follow all the important questions which are mentioned topic wise over here. So you can see there is a video solution available as well for every topic. Okay, mostly it will be available. So this constitutes all the important questions that have been asked in past interviews in all good companies, and they have been asked repeatedly. So this constitutes of all the questions. So I would say the generalized strategy is to solve an SD sheet. Now let's say, how can I target a specific company? So I'll share the link of this SD sheet in the chat box. So yes, so what I'm trying to say is that, so someone wrote down that GFG 160 challenge is a good challenge going on nowadays. Yes. So what I'm trying to say is that there will be many sheets available online, and all those sheets will be highlighting some of the important questions. Just like this GFG 160. So there is a list of 160 questions which are very important. So you can follow some SD sheet or some GFG 160 kind of sheet and practice from that. So don't keep on switching between different sheets. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to guide. So now coming back to this point, how can we prepare for a specific company? So let's say after few days, or let's say after a month or two, you are going to give an interview of, let's say, some specific company. Is there anyone who is going to give interview in the upcoming month or upcoming days? Can I know in the chat box, guys? So I will take an example of that and I'll guide that student so that you can copy the same technique and get an idea about what should be done and what should be my preparation strategy. Is there any student who's going to have any internship upcoming interview, or let's say, so write down, give me an idea about an let's say company which you are going to interview for. Wow, Gopal Kumar is saying after 12 months. Okay, so that's a very long period. Sir, please provide CP classes live. Okay. Okay, so let's say Nilam is saying that let's take an example for Uber. Okay, so let's take an example for Uber and how can we prepare for this company. It's a very good company and the level of questions they ask are good amount of questions. Okay, I mean the difficulty level is quite good. It's from medium to hard level of questions they can ask. So now let's say if I want to prepare for Uber and let's say I have a time period of, let's say, 1.5 months, let's say 45 days, then how can I prepare? So first thing that you should be doing to prepare company wise is get to know about the past 15 to 20 interview experiences, and these are the latest interview experiences. These are the latest interview experiences. Now, what should I do about these interview experiences? Just read the experiences, or should I figure out something? Absolutely, you are supposed to figure out something. What is that thing? That is, highlight the topics that have been asked in the interviews. Then highlight the questions that are repeated. Repeated questions. So make a list of all these things. Let's say there are some topics they are more interested in. Let's say dynamic programming, graph, binary trees, heap data structure, tri data structure. So you'll get a list of topics, and repeated questions will give you an idea that this 5 to 6 questions have been repeated in all this almost 15 to 20 interviews. Or let's say they have been repeated 2 to 3 times in an interview, in different interviews. So now you have an idea about what topics should you cover and what kind of questions I should be revising. If I don't know these repeated questions, then I will practice them and then I'll move to these topics. So again, how to practice these topics? You can practice this topic from this SD sheet, or what you can do, you can prioritize this topic based upon how well comfortable you are according to a topic. Let's say there is one topic inside this dynamic programming. There is one more topic, graph. There is one more topic, binary trees. So you will prioritize them. If you are very good at binary trees, then you will give it least priority. Then if you are little better than binary tree, then you will give the priority to graph. And then if you are very bad at dynamic programming, then you will practice this at the end. Okay, so you can prioritize this based upon your preparation strategy. Okay, so by reading an idea about topics, you will be able to know that whether DP was asked very frequently or graph has been asked frequently. So whichever has been asked frequently, you can prioritize according to that priority or according to your learning pace. Okay, so is it making sense, guys? This much is making sense or not? Yes or no in the chat box, guys? Ashutosh, internship, sir, I'm in first year. So this is what I was trying to say. In Uber interview, 15 to 20 interview experiences, topic, whichever topics have been repeated, make a list of it. So this is what you should be doing on the first day after getting an interview scheduled, and then get a list about repeated questions. Is this much making sense, guys? Yes or no in the chat box? Adobe in 2 weeks. Acha, Manisha is saying she is going to apply. Okay, congratulations and best of luck, Manisha, if you are having Adobe. True questions are tough. Goldman Sachs internship. Okay. So this should be the ideal way for practicing company wise. And if your interview is not scheduled, resume back to this general strategy. Okay. So this is for placements, what you should be doing so far. And this applies for internships as well. Because from an intern, company does not expect that from the first day onward, you will be able to contribute to the team. You will be able to write down a production ready code. No, it's not possible from an intern until unless you are very high skilled. Then if you are very highly skilled, then you don't need to visit this lecture as well. You might be doing internship in some good organization at this point of time, right? So this is a general idea for everyone. Okay, so now coming back to this competitive programming, how can we master competitive programming and what can we do? So this is where it all starts. Get the basics of DSA, then and only then you can go into competitive programming and do something over there. So how to start competitive programming? So first thing that you can do in competitive programming is select any platform. Let's say XYZ platform I'm going to use for practicing this competitive programming. And then what I'll be doing, I will start participating in beginners contest. Beginners contest. Okay, so if you participate in beginners contest, you will be able to see that some topics were covered in the first questions, second question or third question, which you were not at all aware about. Let's say sieve of Eratosthenes. So have you heard about this algorithm, sieve of Eratosthenes? Have you heard about this topic, guys? Sieve algorithm, anything like that? Okay, so let me give you an idea. So this sieve of Eratosthenes is basically, so this sieve of Eratosthenes is basic an algorithm that gives you an idea about prime numbers. Okay, so this kind of algorithms are used inside competitive programming contest. So when you target a contest, there are many other optimal solutions to doing some very basic task like finding prime numbers in a range. So you need to get an idea about all those topics, all those algorithms, and practice on your side. When you practice all these things, you will be able to basically solve first two questions of CP. Then eventually, if you keep on maintaining consistency, you will be able to go to the third and fourth question. And so manner, you will be proceeding after maintaining consistency and practicing daily. Okay, so this is what a roadmap to competitive programming looks like. And here also, if you go to some XYZ, I would not mention the let's say website which you can, for now, let's say you can go to Code Chef, you can go to Code Forces, at Coder, and there are many other platforms. They have, let's say, contest every, let's say, 3 days, 4 days, every week. Okay, so you can try out different platforms which I have mentioned over here. CodeChef, Codeforces, AdCoder. These are very renowned competitive programming platforms on which generally people share their ratings about. Someone will say I'm 5 star on CodeChef. Someone will say I'm, let's say, expert on Codeforces, right? And AdCoder, I don't remember their rating, how basically they rate. Okay, so they will be having their own rating system, and according to that, you will be rated. Your profile will be rated, and when you go to some company, you can share your ratings of that particular profile, and then they can get an idea about how good competitive programmer you are. Okay, so this was all about how you can go towards placement and how you can go towards competitive programming. So now, guys, let's discuss about all your doubts. Whatever doubts you are having, you can put it in the chat box, and one by one, I'll be going through all the doubts. Okay, so there is one question from Dipankar Roy. So he's saying that his 3 years experience in Java development. Please provide the roadmap for me for finding new job. Okay, so I can see that you have quite a good amount of experience in Java development, right? So what kind of uh, interview rounds can you expect? So you can expect an interview round that has data structure and algorithms. Apart from that, you can expect a system design, or let's say low level design or high level design, because I can see 3 years of experience is quite a good amount of experience, right? So system level, system design, high level and low level design, and you can also expect questions from your tech stack, whichever tech stack you have been following. Related to that, there can be some questions or a specific interview round. Okay, Dipankar, I hope this makes sense to you. What will be the difficulty level? Okay, so as this is the first round, the difficulty level will be moderate. Okay, so you can expect moderate difficulty level. Is there any meaning of expert? So the meaning of expert, basically it means ki by what is different levels. So there is something called as noob, there is something called as let's say, I don't quite remember what a different hierarchy they have, but expert is quite renowned, let's say, score that you get on platforms. Okay, Ashutosh. Okay, so now we have Neelam. She is saying that how to manage time while contributing to open source and practicing DSA daily. I'm not able to continue to work on my personal projects and learning altogether. So I guess you need to know how can I manage my time between open source contribution and practicing DSA daily. So I would say divide your time of personal study into two sections. Let's say if you are going to college, and if you are doing, let's say, 7 to 8 hours of college, and after that you are studying for 4 hours. Let's take an ideal example. Let's say you are studying to 3 to 4 hours. Now from this, divide it into two halves. Let's say every time it doesn't need to be equal half. Like 1.5 hour you will be doing open source contribution. That's not possible. You cannot have a strict timing, right? But you can have a strict timing on how many questions you should be doing every day. So keep a target of, let's say, 2 questions every day, and this can be done throughout the entire day. You don't need to sit heavily 2 hours and do practice on this 2 questions. You can during your breakfast have a read, have a look at some question, and then practice it during the entire day. Think upon that question while sitting in metro, or while, let's say, roaming around the college. You can think about that problem, and at the end you will be having so many, let's say, time to contribute to open source. So that's how you should be doing. I hope it is making sense, Neelam. If your answer gets replied, and if you are able to understand it, please respond with a yes, so I can get an idea. Okay. Okay, so now I have Shravani Roy. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Here is the reply. I am React developer with 6 years of experience. Recently started working on Java plus Spring Boot API since past 6 months. Can you share the roadmap to find a new job? So if you have been working for as a React developer for 6 months, and I guess you are aiming towards getting into Java backend development, right? So, what should be the roadmap? First of all, even though you are 6 years of experience, or let's say 10 years of experience in the industry, trust me, there will be a single round on data structures and algorithms. Because I have seen many people, like, let's say, many of my students, they are at a quite, let's say good hierarchy in their organization. They are labeled as, let's say, managerial level, or let's say team lead, but although they need to get into a DSA because of their first round. So you can expect a first round of DSA, and in first round of DSA, what to do, how to study DSA, I've already taught few minutes back. So I would say scroll back to the first minutes of the session and get an idea. And apart from that, you should be able to get good at your system design. Okay, so that would be your roadmap to getting good at interviews related to backend development. How to manage time while contributing. Okay, so Nilam, I already answered your question. Now we have said, does system design and DBMS plays a vital role in interview for freshmen in Mang Fang companies? Yes, so nowadays low level design makes an important impact in the interview, and DBMS, database management system, yes, it is also one of the core subjects. So yes, you can expect questions on DBMS in the interview as well. Okay, that was for Manisha. I can't even solve easy lead code challenges. How much I can improve and not memorize the solutions? So coding James, right? So coding James, if you are not able to solve easy questions as well, so there is a lack in practicing standard problems. If you have not practiced the standard problems properly, this shows you that you are not able to solve easy questions. So I would say re-revise all the standard problems and try to practice again all the easy problems. And the next time you do it, you will be able to solve all the standard problems as all the easy problems as well. Okay. So graduated at April 24. Okay, so I can see there is a problem. This is a very common problem that nowadays people are facing, that they have been applying to different companies from God knows so much of time, and then they are not getting any response back from the HRs and all those things, right? So I would say, guys, you cannot expect that I replied to a company's hiring, let's say hiring link, and I have applied it over there, and you cannot expect that you can get the response in, let's say, 30 days. So generally companies have a, let's say, buffering period, and they respond back in at least 30 days. Okay, so it takes some amount of time. And now let's say if you are saying that, okay, this might be due to I don't have enough amount of experience. So yes, that's definitely true. It can be a possibility that they are expecting an experienced people or experienced person. So what you can do in that case, in order to handle this thing, target startups. So startups look for a person who can come on the first day, and on the second day he is contributing to the team. So they want someone who already knows the tech stack. So you can target the startups as well. That is the most easiest way to get into tech industry. As a fresher, which is better to focus more on DSO development? So Kavya, so nowadays companies are focusing on both the things, data structure algorithms and development as well, because there are some experienced folks who are competing with you, and if you only know DSA, then you will be not able to compete them on development level, right? So both of them are important. Which points to focus in DSA specifically at more? uh, okay so tell the journey of placement at big company, which type of strategy you follow. Okay, so to get into good companies, first of all, you should be able to understand that there are not many openings in a good product based companies. Okay, so there are very few bunch of people, or let's say a bunch of people who are working on a specific feature of that entire huge gigantic project. Let's say Amazon, there are very few people who are working on a specific uh, let's say project or something. So there are very limited seats. So I would say that you cannot expect that on the first go you will be able to, let's say, get an interview call. So it needs continuous let's say update or continuous idea about whether they are hiring at a particular time period or not. And what I think, it's better to ask for a referral than applying over directly LinkedIn or directly applying on their careers portal. So if you take a referral, it will be much easier compared to applying online. And the second thing is that you need to get an idea about what they are expecting from a software developer, and that can be known from interview experiences, and the roadmap is common for everyone. Okay, so you need to know what level of questions they are expecting, and you need to practice and get into that much level of DSA or whatever topic they are interested more into, like let's say system design. Okay, Yashi, I told you that yes, absolutely, there are many SD sheets. So I told you that you can follow anyone. I have given you an idea about GFG SD sheet, so you can follow GFG SD sheet as well. Okay, so what type of questions will come on coding test? So moderate level of questions you can expect, Scarlett, in the coding test. I'm 21, pass out computer science, and I have no experience till now. Give me a solution to find my first job. So again, the same response will be for you. Target startups and try to get into startups. Don't focus on salary for now. Try to get into a tech role for now, and for that, startups will give you a good idea about what is going on, and it will give you an idea about everything from scratch. Okay, so focus on startups. I've been interviewed for a few mang companies for SD role, uh, but I have no idea for technical consultant at Adobe. Could you please give me a rough idea? Technical consultant at Adobe. So I think you can get an idea about that specific role. What does that role do from the careers page as well? So I think technical consultant is someone who is sitting on the front side and receiving all the queries related to a software that Adobe creates. Okay, so that's what a technical consultant uh, should be doing according to the name that you mentioned. Okay, I'm I'm passed out in 2018. Worked for 6 years in electrical engineering field. Now I am looking to get into iOS development. Is it possible? Yes. See, one more thing I would like to tell you about computer science. If you are okay, so I'm sorry, guys. I had a technical error at my end. Okay, so now I'm back again. Let's continue. Okay, so we were discussing about whatever doubts you guys have. So, do we have any other doubts in the chat box, guys? Okay, so we have one from Photon. Okay, I am MCA pass out 24 batch and practicing DSS driver sheet right now. I have no experience. Can I apply for Mang? Okay, companies, can I be shortlisted if I apply in LinkedIn, etc.? So my response will be that nowadays companies are expecting a BTech student or let's say an MTech student, right? But if you want to make sure that whether you will be hired for that particular role or not, what you can do is get an idea about the qualifications required for that specific role. Okay, and generally I have seen it is possible as well. It will be mentioned MCA as well. So you just need to verify once, else you can apply everywhere in each and every company. Okay, so any further questions, guys? Anyone? Okay, I can see no further questions coming in the chat box. Okay, so I'll wait for 1 to 2 minutes more. Okay, so I'll share my LinkedIn ID as well. Okay, so you can just search Jay Dalsania. Okay, you can search Jay Dalsania on the LinkedIn and my ID will pop up. So uh, yes, if you have any other doubts also, guys, if you want to connect with me, then yes, absolutely, you can connect via LinkedIn and get to know about any difficulties, share any difficulties related to roadmaps and related to how I will be able to crack this. I'm not aware how to study and all those things. I can guide you over LinkedIn as well. So yes, you can definitely connect to me over there. Okay, so I've shared my name, Jazz Alsania. You can search this on LinkedIn as well. Okay, so SRS, I am currently pursuing final year. Which course is better to do? So, what do you want to pursue? Like, I mean, which kind of course? Like, what is your goal? Based upon your goal, I can give you an idea that you should go towards this and that. Okay, so Muhammad is saying that which topics we select for ICPC regionals. So I would say get an idea about the page. Okay, so on the page everything will be mentioned. I guess ICPC regionals. What you can do, you can have a look at about the previous contest and a list of all the important topics for it. Okay, so there is an article which I can see which is available and that's on Code Forces as well. So you can go and search this thing on the internet because there is no specific list which I am able to find right now, but you can get an idea about the previous contests and previous experiences of some of your known people or someone on the internet as well. Okay, yes, those of you have sent me requests. I will directly, I will make sure I'll accept it over the LinkedIn as well, guys. Yes, guys, you can connect me over LinkedIn. I already told you, you can just search my name. If you want to connect with me in future, then just search my name, Jay Dalsania, over LinkedIn. Any other questions, guys? Okay, so definitely, Karthik, I would ask my team to think upon this idea and make a video related to your topic, making a perfect resume. Okay, how many days are required to master DSA? Okay, so if I talk about, see, DSA is not just about solving problem. DSA constitutes two things. Two important concepts are there. I mean, two important entities are there inside DSA. First important entity is learning about the algorithms, the topics, and all those things. And second is applying those logic. That is problem solving. So It depends upon an individual how good problem solver you are. Someone might be able to do it in 2 to 3 months. Someone might need more amount of time, 5 to 6 months. So everything depends upon your general habit of problem solving. If you are a good let's say math problem solver, or let's say you are good at mathematics, then I can guarantee you will be able to do DSA very nicely and easily. Sir, I have started HTML CSS. Could you suggest any React course? So, Harshita, for this, definitely I can suggest you right now, because Gigs for Gigs is going through 390 challenge, and over there, if you complete 90% of the course in 90 days, you will get 90% of the refund. So over there, there's a good project. I mean, good course on, I guess, this topic as well. So you can go over this courses page of Gigs for Gigs and have a look at it. Okay, Harshita. I should start CP after completing DSA, or DSA simultaneously have to focus on development? Acha. So if you are saying that if you are, okay, Rahul is saying, should I start CP after completing DSA, or DSA, or with DSA simultaneously I have to focus on development? Okay, so after basics of DSA, you should go with competitive programming. And if you want to do DSA and development simultaneously, then some amount of your personal learning time should be given to development, because development is done because you want to develop some project, and project development takes hardly 2 to 3 months. I'm saying 2 to 3 months are quite a large amount of time, but hardly it might take 2 to 3 months, right? So after that, what? So in this 2 to 3 months, keep on consistently practicing DSA. Okay, so why everyone targets men? So it's like asking why anyone is willing to go into becoming an IS officer or cracking UPSC. Okay, so it's renowned position as a software developer on in this good tech companies, because they are building something that is impacting millions of lives. And if you are solving something, if you are solving problems of at least, or let's say only few thousands of people, then you are considered as some problem solver that is impacting the society. So these companies are doing something that impacts the society. That's why everyone is willing to get into a prestigious role, and this prestigious role can be given by this prestigious organizations. So that's why everyone is willing to go into Mang. And obviously, everyone wants to get rich, right? So they pay a hefty amount of salary. Okay, please speak my last out. Okay, so sir, I want to buy a DSA course. What will be the best for me? Will it be that will be best for me or not? One-to-one career guidance is there or not, for like how to apply system design, etc. Okay, so for DSA again, I would say the same thing, because nowadays GFG is going through a campaign called as 390 challenge. So DSA course of GFG is quite descriptive, and it will help you to level up your DSA skills. So you can go with the GFG DSA course. And system design. So there is a system design and DSA course also available over here. So you can go with that as well. If you are, let's say, let's say disciplined enough, right? Then you can practice it on by reading articles and the strategy that I've showed you right now. So you were saying about GFG course. So I told you, no, there is a course that includes system design and DSA as well. So you can go with that course if needed. Okay, Photon. So you can go with system design plus DSA will be there. So go to courses page, and over there it will give you an idea about this course that I'm talking about. System design plus DSA. Is CP still relevant in cracking high? Okay, so CP teaches you some algorithms, and these algorithms can be helpful. Is CP still relevant in cracking a high paying job when we have so much advancements in development and AI? Okay, so in the first round of interview, you will get some questions on DSA. Again and again, I'm saying that you will get some questions on DSA. Okay, if it is a good company, they want to know about a problem solving skill, and that's the best they can judge you on DSA questions. So CP depends upon the difficulty level of that interview. If it is a highly difficult like Uber, then somewhat CP can be included over there. SRS. How can I get internship at GFG? So GFG is currently looking for some interns as well. So you can go and follow the HRs over here and go and follow the page of GFG. So system design is a way of designing a project, or let's say a product, so that it can handle, let's say, if the traffic increases, your project should not crash down, your application should not crash down. So how can you design such system that can handle all those traffics, can handle all those viruses or all those things, security and everything. So that's what you study in system design. Okay guys, what will be completely beginner friendly, AI, ML or full stack? So I would say, Ram, beginner friendly would be Spring Boot Node.js, because AI ML constitutes of something in which you need to have a good idea about mathematics. But if you are using libraries, then you don't need to know. But the core of AI ML is mathematics, right? Probability, linear algebra, statistics, and all those things. So I would say Spring Boot or Node.js. You can go with this thing. Sanjay Rawat, focus on both the things. If you are in third year, consistently start doing DSA and development for projects. Do the front end developer needs to master DSA? So good companies like Sprinkler can ask you questions on DSA. Search about Sprinkler. It's a very renowned company based in Delhi NCR, I guess, and it is international based. Like let's say it's not housed in India. It's from US, I guess. So yes, good companies will ask you DSA. What are the requirements for interning at GFG? So requirements depend upon the position for which you want to intern. So have a look at the requirements on the GFG LinkedIn page or follow the HRs over here. How to study system design? So I gave you an idea. So there will be some articles and you can pursue some course as well, or you can read some books as well. So Head First System Design is a book which you can refer to if you want to get good at system design. Head First System Design. Okay, how can I make attractive CV? Okay, so system design, head first system design. Okay, Photon, last doubt. Any GFG DSA course for freshers like me, and please say about there will be one guidance, career guidance. So it depends upon the course as well. So I guess there would be guidance as well. Okay, so I'm not sure about personal guidance that you can visit absolutely for one-on-one career guidance. You have doubt sessions available, so you can visit the doubt session and ask the mentor if you are facing any difficulty. So yes, with every course, almost every course of GFG, you get doubt assistance. Okay, guys. So that was it from my side. I hope you really enjoyed this entire session. If you really enjoyed the session, please write down or show some energy in the chat box. Write down yes in the chat box, guys. I want to see that whether you enjoyed the session or not. Yes, Ram. Yes, exactly. It can help you. So, guys, what about my responses in the chat box? Did you really enjoy this entire session? Yes or no, guys? And if you really enjoyed, then do hit the like button as well. I have already I already have 5 college projects on my resume as I pursued full stack on GFG. How many personal projects to mention in the future? In the future, I don't know what's happening. Full stack and future. Okay, so uh, Karthik is saying that I have already 5 college projects on my resume as I pursued full stack on GFG. How many personal? So I would say the categories I can say about the categories. I cannot say about how many projects. I would say that create a project that showcases your basic skills. Second project would be highlighting your teamwork, and third project would be with cross technologies, some AI/ML feature and some backend development or web development combined together creates a project. So these 3 categories should be there in your resume. Okay, so thank you for responses, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Fodon. Thank you, Neelam. Thank you, Saini Datta. Okay, so that was it for today, guys. And from now onwards, remember this thing: if you want to master DSA, consistency is the only key. There is no shortcut. If you are aiming to get 1 crore in your life, no, there at that point also you don't have any kind of shortcut. You might be saying that there are some billionaires like the founder of Zepto, is a billionaire at the age of 21, right? But see the amount of experience he has at an age of 21. He has got an experience of a 35-year-old CEO at the age of 21. So absolutely, if you get this amount of experience at a very, let's say, at a very young age, then absolutely you can build a very impactful product in the industry. So try getting good experience, surround yourself with people who are smarter than you. Just learn from smarter people around you. Okay, don't try to overpower them. You need to expect something, or let's say you need to you need to accept that if someone is smarter, get to learn from that other than competing with them. So tomorrow will be my next live, same timing. Okay, so you can come back again and watch me, and we'll discuss tomorrow on some other topics, very important topics. With all this AI stuff, is worth learning programming. Okay, so yes, I wanted to discuss this topic as well, but let's keep this AI stuff tomorrow, because let's keep a link between today's session and tomorrow's session. So in tomorrow's session, one more thing I would like to mention, that is AI really going to take our job? Because I have read a few articles, I have read about different scientists who have played a vital role in developing this AI technology, and based upon that, I have some my point of view whether AI is really going to take our jobs, or will it be a bright future for software developers if AI persists. Okay, so I'll discuss those things in tomorrow's session. So come again and let's discuss and have an amazing time tomorrow as well. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so it was nice meeting and interacting with everyone. We'll meet tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone. Bye. Have a nice day.